Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to do a short video to explain the Hamlet literary essay to you because some of you have been sending me your tentative thesis plans, and that's great. But some of you are sending me a thesis that suggests that maybe you haven't really read the assignment completely. So I just want to clarify a few things. So I'm actually just looking at the assignment page right now. And so that's U3 Activity 7, and it says Hamlet Act 4 and preparing to write the literary essay. So it's a short essay. This is 1,000 words, and I don't want it any more than 1,000 words because while this is an assignment for your Hamlet unit, it is also practice for your ISP essay. So your ISP essay is going to be longer, but your Hamlet essay is just supposed to be 1,000 words. Now, the next thing it says is it's supposed to be cause and effect pattern, and that's stumping some of you guys because you haven't done a cause and effect pattern essay before. But I don't want you to be too concerned about it because you really have. Now, there is also a link right on the web page here so that it explains what cause and effect is. But basically, the idea here is that you're going to present an example from the text, and you're going to that's the cause, and then you are going to explain the effect, and that would be the effect that that aspect has on the audience based on whatever context you've chosen. So let me explain a little bit more. You are going to choose one passage from Act 4. So for example, I've chosen, okay, Act 4, Scene 1, lines 29 to 46. There's my passage that I'm going to use. You want to pick one that's going to be long enough that allows you to get at, 3 or 4 different aspects of it, but you don't have to pick, an entire scene either. So something in between that. And you are going to write a cause and effect essay about how that passage targets the audience. So you can choose a target audience for any context or production of the play. So for example, you can think about choosing the original Elizabethan context, in which case you are looking at the historical, social, political, economic context for Elizabethan England. Okay? Or you can choose a context for a later version. And on the assignment page, it gives you a whole bunch of different clips from different productions of Hamlet from different time periods. So if you were choosing a modern one, then you're looking at the significance that the passage will have on a modern audience. And you would also look at things like, because you'd be looking at a film version, the different choices that the directors and actors have made in interpreting the text, and why they may have made those choices, what effect that has on the audience. So two big things here, you're looking at the text and the effect that the text has on the audience. If you're choosing the Elizabethan context, you're just strictly relying on the text itself. If you are choosing a more modern context, then you are focusing on some choices that the directors and actors have made in filming that scene. Okay, so if you're asking me which one would be easier, I would say that in some ways doing the modern one is easier because you don't have to do a whole lot of research on the modern political, social, and economic contexts because you would probably know them. On the other hand, we've had lots of notes on the cultural, economic perspectives, social perspectives of Elizabethan England as well. So it doesn't really matter. It's kind of up to you. However, I guess talking about a filmed version of Hamlet could be viewed as being a little bit easier because it gives you more to talk about, since you're not just talking about the text, but you're also talking about the cinematic interpretation of the text. So it gives you a little bit more to discuss. So for your thesis statement, you need to create a thesis statement that states an arguable claim about the effect that the play might have on the audience given the context you've chosen. So you're keeping it fairly narrow because you're choosing a passage from Act 4 and you are talking about the effect that that passage from Act 4 would have on the audience. Okay? If you are using a film version, you need to provide the correct bibliographical information for a film version. And it says include an annotated bibliography in MLA format. I don't care if it's annotated, just as long as you have a works cited page in MLA format. I have a note here on how to cite Shakespeare in MLA format. There are some essay writing tips. There's a handout on how to get beyond that 5-paragraph essay. This does not have to be 5 paragraphs. If it is 5 paragraphs, that's okay too. And then I've included the handout as well for the essay, 2 different versions of it. So there's lots of information on there. So please read through it clearly before you start to write your essay. That's always good advice, is to read through the assignment before you start it. So good luck with that, guys. I'm just going to post this video and then I'll post your work for this week, which, no surprise, will be working on the essay.